Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Minions, it is time to assemble. Your host is back, it's just Moll. And I'm today joined with two of the members of Red Hot Chili Peppers, one of the biggest tribute bands and acts throughout the nation. Gentlemen, thank you ever so much for taking the time out of your days for this interview. How are you guys doing?
Cracking. Lovely day, good weather.
Yeah, pretty good.
Fortunately, I've been at work. I don't know about Carl, but I've been at work all day and just finished. So
Be very boring standing indoors all day.
I know it's awful when you see the weather being so nice, because I think here in my hometown of Barrow it's currently 19 degrees, bloody hell. So when it's warm up here, you will see every guy with every chance they'll have their shirt off, and I'm like, put that shirt back on. Like it's not that bad. It's only 19 degrees.
I've been over there, but it's been raining.
my time's well past me anyway. So
It's every time though. It gets to about 19, 20 degrees and shirt off. I'm like, it's not even that warm. It's not even that hot. It's just warm. Like, put your shirt back on. Nobody needs to see your bones. It's like nobody needs to see your ribs. Put your shirt back on. Because
we like getting our shirts off sometimes.
body positive in 2023.
But I always go as, if it's above 25 degrees, I'm like, yeah, fair enough. But if it's about 19, 20 degrees, I go, it's not that hot. Put it back on. You're just walking down the market. Obviously, it's just some guy with his t-shirt wrapped around his head or whatever, or I'm like, put it back on. It's not that bad. Oh my goodness. So guys, I do have a few questions. I did send you the questions, so you guys could prepare a little bit. So my first question is, what made you guys set up the band?
As a tribute, well, I've been at the Chili Peppers since I was probably about, 13. I'm 37 now. The reason I started picking up guitar, so it was always something I was into. I've done a tribute band a long time ago, moved on to various other projects since. I don't even really know how this one came about. I think one of the lads just says, look, we tried it before, it was all right, but we didn't have the right singer. Would you fancy trying again? So we'll put an advert out. Josh, who's not with us tonight, stepped forward and he does a really convincing Anthony Kiedis, and it just went from there.
Does all that.
We do original stuff as separate entities. We've got other rock bands who've been through the mill, so this one just worked, kept us busy.
Yeah, definitely.
So nice to do.
It's a lot for everyone to do. There's a lot of interesting parts for everybody to do. It keeps everybody interested. And Chili Peppers is class, honestly. Some of the gigs we've played, just
good vibes, really.
Bouncing, absolutely bouncing. Great gigs.
Yeah, I mean, I still remember when the Red Hot Chili lads, they performed at the Super Bowl with Bruno Mars, and I absolutely lost it. I completely lost my mind, because I do love Bruno, but then when they came out, I was just gone. I was just like, I was like, what's going on? And I was just there, just absolutely gone for it. I was just going, let's go, boys, come on.
Do that again.
I was just going, let's go, come on. I've just gone. I was like, I'm not really that much of a headbanger or a head bopper, but then all of a sudden I'm there with a Bud Light in my hand, just going, let's go.
Well, you've got the hair for it. We haven't.
Everyone always used to say to me, I've got the hair like Michael McIntyre. You'll see me running down. You'll be like, hello, Wembley. I'm like, yeah, that's me going like that. I'm like, no, stop it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I've got the hair of Boris Johnson, but it's just a big old bald patch that's coming in the middle. I'm 26, turning 27 next month, and there's me crying in my sleep, just going, oh, I wish my hairline would come back. But still. He's just there going, oh.
Sorry, you want to apologise? I'm going to hear a bunch of beeping in a minute, so keep throwing the insults out.
Oh my goodness! So I would love to know, like, even though you guys will have the influences of course, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but are there any other musicians out there, any other bands that you guys can easily say they've inspired you and they've helped influence any style of music that you have either got a taste in, you know, you like other style and different genres of music, because I myself have got very different diversity in music tastes and genres, etc., which I never thought I would, but as the older I got, I started to love more rock and a little bit of classical music, you know, and jazz, blues, pop, pop punk, etc., etc., and it just kind of gradually grew as I grew older. So was there any kind of other artists out there that you've really inspired?
God, yeah. Musical influences, Christ, from being a young lad.
Carl's primarily a guitar player, and he plays the bass in this band, so I don't know if he has any particular bass player influences, but he was a guitar player at first.
I like Geddy Lee, you know, Geddy Lee's like what they always go to.
Is that Rush?
I don't know, when I was younger, a friend of mine threw a bass guitar in my hand and says, fancy learning a few songs for the end of school disco, and I was like, all right, get on it. So I had a bit of Green Day in hospital there, and my dad walked in and went, what are you playing that shite for? You can beep that out. He went, yeah, here's a bit of YYZ for you, buy what you play that. I was like, yeah, I'll give that. And then
the same thing was going to be me. It was him.
And then it slowly moved on from there, and then like some Rage Against the Machine, Tim Comerford. So just from there went on really.
I picked up guitar at a young age. Obviously, the Chili Peppers were my main influence, but my father used to listen to like Pink Floyd and stuff like that. So I come from like prog rock, traditional classic rock background, Thin Lizzy, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, stuff like that. It was the Chili Peppers that resonated with us to pick it up, but I got a degree in music, and basically I can go from anything from Frank Zappa, you know, Django Reinhardt, all the way through to Machine Head. You know, so just if there's something that I hear and I think, oh, that's got a cool vibe, I like the sound of that or whatever, I give it a listen, and if I like it, I'll run with it. If I don't, it just goes to the side.
Same Machine Head Metallica, will be mine.
Aye.
The Death Magnet tour came on. The drummer was sat in the corner on like a massive pedestal. He was about 20 foot high, smashing his drums out. It was nuts. That's crazy. Because was like, what's going on?
Because my mum, as I was growing up throughout the 90s towards the early 2000s, my mum was really big with Michael Jackson, etc. So I grew up listening to MJ. You know, of course, my granddad as well, he would listen to the Beatles as well. He would listen to all sorts, Frank Sinatra as well. You know, and you know, when someone is on the younger side, you don't expect them to fall in love with that style of music or that genre of music. But for some reason, I just really loved that music, and it was just to the matter of fact that it was true talent. I was like, they're actually allowing their voices to speak for itself, their talent to speak for itself, whilst there's a lot of musicians in today's age that probably may not do it as much as they do in today, or as they did back then. Because you know, I've been to a fair few different concerts, etc. nowadays, and it's barely live anymore. Like, they barely perform.
Yeah, it's just, unfortunately.
You just sort of sat there going...
We went to the Chili Peppers recently, and, you know, it is raw, it is live. You know,
plenty of mistakes to be had.
I've noticed that. I have noticed that with a lot of bands. I mean, I was very surprised that Bruno Mars was very, like, raw. It was just, you're there for an event. If you're at that sort of event, Bruno Mars, you're there for a show, an event. He's going to have you blown away. And I'm sat there going, what the hell is this? It was just pure magic. I was like, oh my God.
In one aspect,
yeah. Good drummer, no?
Because he had all sorts of age ranges, etc. From young kids to adults, you know, in their 30s, 40s, 50s, all loving his music. And I'm sat there going, that's generational talent. Like, we haven't seen that in quite some time, as an artist to be so loved by a lot of age brackets that you just sort of like, wow, it's the name of everybody of every age just does not like, nobody hates this guy or hates his music, which is very, very rare in music nowadays. But of course, when we come toward bands as well, and specifically your band, when was it formed? You know, whenabouts was it that you guys
it was
came together?
In January of 2020. And unfortunately, we got like a month's worth of practicing, and then COVID hit, and then it was shop got put on halt. But we all went away and we all did our homework.
And the most recent incarnation of the band is about the most successful version where we are at the minute, where people are doing what they need to do and putting the sound and the time in. Was that time, and then COVID hit, and we just had to wait it out like everybody else. Kind of passed a few demos, like we're doing some records, we passed them around. Yeah. People done their own parts, sent them back. Got a friend in Cyprus who done a mix and master, so it was more like an advert, so we could put it out at the local venues and say, look, obviously we're not the Chili Peppers, we are a tribute band, this is what we sound like, do you want to boot us in? And it's just kind of gone from there really, and we're plenty busy, so
that's it's kind of crazy that sometimes things happen for a reason, but especially through COVID, everybody was absolutely rocked by COVID, and especially the music scene here in Barrow, because there was so many bands in my hometown, and then all of a sudden COVID hit, and then all of a sudden everybody just sort of disasperated, and then like bands that existed just stopped. They just stopped existing. And my brother was also in a band, and my brother is big with his Oasis, and I used to he does my head in because because he's a United fan as well, a Man United fan. So I tell him that your beloved Liam, whoever it is, or Noel, he's a big City fan. So what do you think of about that? And he's just like, no, he's not. I was like, yes, he is. He's like, bugger. So I just went, that's all I'm saying.
Not necessarily my cup of tea. I think they're probably one of the last great rock bands in terms of attitude. Good documentary on Netflix with them. Watch it if you haven't. It's well worth a watch, and just they are borderline punk attitude through and through.
Oh wow!
It doesn't get rock and roll in the 90s than what they did, to be honest.
Oh wow! So have you guys ever played in Barrow before, or in Cumbria before?
Of course, yeah.
Where was that festival we did last year?
I'll forget the diary.
It was in the sticks somewhere, wasn't it?
It was near the coast, and it was a pub.
Was it not Reckenton? Workington?
Workington. Was it Workington? Anyway, there was a pub, and then there was the tent on the side of the pub that we played in. Then there was somebody's house, and they weren't very happy. But that was a good gig. That it was about 2 hours. 2 hours there. 2 hours back in the night time.
So we've got a place next to us. But I think the Reckoning's next to us, so we must have been working that we played. But I get confused between them, the two similar. One's like half an hour away, the other one's like 3 hours away. So 3 hours is close at your neck of the woods.
Yes, because I interviewed a few days ago. I interviewed Craig, who is the lead singer of the tribute and Green Days. And he basically stated that it's a long trek to Barrow. And I said, it can be, depending on how far away, if you are towards the southern area, it can be in between 4 to 6 hours, depending on how far, just due to the fact that it's all the way in the northwest. It's right on the coast, and it's above Blackpool, on the west coast.
2.5 hours, isn't it, to get there?
Something like that,
yeah. It can be a trek depending on how far further down south you are. But
we went to Glasgow and back in the day, man. So we're all right.
it's like Glasgow's a lovely spot. I can't say nothing else about that. You're gonna get me in trouble. I'm just gonna get an angry voicemail from a Scotsman. It's just going like, "What you saying here, pal? What you saying about me, Glasgow?" I'm like, I'm not saying nothing. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. All right.
I need like a slow motion button when Glaswegians talk. No offense, any Glaswegians.
I'm sorry, but I'm even worse when Jamie Carragher tries to speak when he's on Saturday night. he's on punditry. I'm like, oh my god, get the subtitles out and put it on slow motion. I can't understand a single word he says. Especially if he goes high pitch. If he goes high pitch, it sounds like a mouse, like literally drilling into my ear. I'm like, Grandad, turn it down. My god. It sounds like he goes supersonic. So have you guys played at any big venues before? Because the venue in Barrow, Cloud9, the capacity is 500. So I'm not 100% certain to what the capacity is at this moment. I think it's about 250 as it's going to be for our event on June 30th. So what would you say is one of the biggest venues that you guys have played in?
I see. Trillions.
Probably about the same size. So we've got a local-ish venue about 15 mile from us called Trillions in Newcastle.
Oh, I've heard of Trillions.
Yeah, it's well known. The guy in there is good lad, Hilly. Give him a shout out while we're on, because he does a lot for the local bands, tribute bands, covers bands, original bands as well.
It's a big scene. Got a big scene up in Newcastle. Can't lie about that.
Yeah,
It's a massive scene in Newcastle.
A lot of folk and heavy metal as well. But it's about maybe 450, 500 venue in there.
Yeah.
When we play the tickets out so we can get more people in. And it's always packed out when we play there. It's a shame we didn't get them everywhere.
Yeah.
You know. But,
I think there is an issue nowadays when it comes to events, because, you know, of course, we're having we have something like, you know, it kind of comes to the point where when the pandemic hit, everyone just sort of kept themselves to themselves and like, I don't want to spend money. Because now that we are in the recession that we are in, etc., from the pandemic, you just sort of like, it's hit everybody really, really bad, and people are like, I'd rather stay at home watching Disney Plus, Netflix, or Paramount Plus, ordering off Just Eat, and then going on to online shopping to see what dress I can get for the summer. And then you're like, get off your phone,
We usually
get off
find
Disney Plus and whatnot, and get yourself to these events and support them. And that's because I keep saying, like, if you can't support these events, because people of my hometown, I love my hometown, but the people, they mourn when there's no events in our hometown.
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
then don't attend when they're on.
yeah. I'm like, well, if we've had these events and we've had other great things that have come to Barrow, but you haven't showed it support. What are you expecting to happen? If you can't show it support and get behind it, then they're gonna stop, because they won't be able to carry on doing it. So it's either you get behind it or it stops, and then when it stops, you'll want to go elsewhere, but then you'll have to go to the likes of Manchester, Liverpool, and you have to pay £30-40 per ticket, whilst in your hometown you've got these great events that are just as good as what they are in these cities, and you're paying so much less for it, like £10-15 per ticket. You're like, what? I know what I would rather do.
Sometimes play in the pub and sit
we
free gigs.
play a lot of
Exactly.
local pubs.
Free gigs.
Yeah.
There's a few bands just as well that play gigs. You know, play free gigs, and it's I mean, you've got the likes of the Force. You know, give them a shout. They're a really good band.
Amazing covers band. The original stuff was amazing as well. Force, northeast based rock band, playing the likes of Rush, and all very technically accomplished players. Quite often catch them in our local club on a Friday, Saturday night, and blow your mind every time you see them.
Yeah.
I think they got Kerrang's best unsigned band of the year.
Oh wow.
Maybe it's 10-15 year ago or something like that.
Oh,
for their original stuff. Unbelievable.
Wow. I mean, considering that we are talking about the event, so I'm not sure if you guys have heard or not, but we do have a massive announcement for the event that you guys are partaking in. That the event in itself is on July 29th, and that's at Club 9 / The Lounge here in Barrow and Furness. So the tickets are currently now on sale, and they are only £2. So I will leave the link for you all that are watching this. I'll leave it in the description, etc. You guys to go check it out. You guys send me a link to some of your work, and I'll leave it in the description for everybody to check out some of your work, etc. And also try to send me some footage, etc., so I can try and add it to the video to kind of showcase this is what you're going to be expecting at the event. Because you know, I interviewed Well Rid, which is a regular, they formed at the beginning of this year, Well Rid, and they're performing on June 30th. And they had an original song called Daggers, and I think they've got two or three original songs out. When I heard Daggers, I was thoroughly impressed, and I put it at the end of the video for everybody to listen to. And you know, the guys, they reached back out to me and they said, "Oh, well, thank you." I went, well, it's because that I was very impressed with the song. Really great sound, very promising up and coming band. They've got a lot of promising things to come. You know, they're still working on original music, and I'm like, I can't wait to see you guys performing at Cloud9 here in Barrow on June 30th, and I can't wait to see what you guys go off and do in the future. And with same with you guys, you know, of course, I love a bit of Red Hot Chili Peppers, who doesn't? And I cannot wait to see.
Don't put it wrong.
I can't wait for these events because I am going to be there at these events, kind of hosting, and having a chat with some members of the audience, etc. And I'm also hopefully going to try and get hold of some of you guys, some of the other bands, etc. So we can have a little chat, etc. for like 5-10 minutes before or after you've performed. Talk about the event as a whole. And it's going to be live streamed on Facebook and YouTube, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes from it. But like I said, it's £2 per ticket. The link for the tickets will be in the description for you all. But because you guys are a tribute act, have you guys ever been tempted to write your own songs?
I'm in the process of at the moment.
Oh, wow.
Doing an album called Making Waves. It is on, you can find it just by Facebook searching Making Waves. I'll come up with like a green audio wave.
Oh, right.
It's on the Chilipinos, Facebook page as well. And this guy will be playing. So I've already got like a handful of songs written.
What?
At the minute.
That's news to me.
Along with the rest of the band, basically, because the singer's doing stuff with us as well. So he will be on the record, and we'll probably at some stage I've got plans to try and turn it into a gigging band. So we'll see how that goes. But it's there if you want to review it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go and I'll try and check it out.
Got to plug another band there. Our drummer.
Ah, yes,
Jack
Hive Mind
is in a band called Hive Mind. They've recently been on BBC Radio 6 as well. So.
Oh wow! How many radio stations have they got? How many radio stations have they got? 6. What? All I know is BBC Radio Cumbria, BBC Radio 1, and BBC Radio 2. I didn't know there was 6.
Oh, 6 is good, man. 6 is good.
How many? How many do you have? I was like, blimey. I go and change my radio station. I'm wanting Radio 1 and it comes to Radio 6. I was like, where's that come from? So, where have you guys been hiding? Just like, just want to know.
That was really good. Hive Mind's really good. Like, check them out.
I'll have to check them out as well. Thank you very much. I mean, you guys clearly seem to have great chemistry between yourselves, and all I would love to know is how long have you guys known each other? Because
I can feel it.
because that's how I know. That's how I can tell that you guys are close. Is because you will give each other that look that I just want to wring his neck in, but at the same time, he's my friend. The whole meme goes is, you ever look at that one friend you went, I would love to punch you in your face. I've got some friends that I want to do that with as well.
It's a lovely, warm feeling, brother.
Well, this is the guy who goes all the way to Glasgow and leaves his bass in the venue. He left his bass in the venue, and the lads from the Foo Fighters collared us as we were packing the van, and he'd already left. And they said, "Has your bass player left his bass? Does it look like this?" Yes, it does. He has. Great. So we left it for an hour before we told him. We phoned him the singer phoned him from the van and said, "Carl, your bass is on its way to Fife." It was in the back of the van. But he left it in the venue, legitimately, and that's why I might look like I want to punch him sometimes.
Yes, me too. No, you're such an idiot, man. And then we got the Joshes and started unloading the Joshes, and he was like,
3 hours away. There's your bass. Have it back.
That's one.
That's the best kind of friendship and relationship is when you do like to, you just know how to wind each other up, basically. You know how to push each other's buttons. Like, I've got some very close friends that I've known for years that every time we see each other, we just give each other like a look and they just go fob off. I'm like, that's the kind of friendship that you need sometimes. It's just that group of friends that you just want to go sod off. You just need to look at them. They'll be doing something, or say they're at work, and you just see them also they're at work, and you're sort of going, hoo-wee. They're just looking. They're just looking. You're just sort of going, shut off.
I called it saved us a few times.
He's just there trying to. He's just there having his morning coffee. He's like, wait till I've had my coffee. Wait till I've had my coffee. So how long have you guys known each other then? It must be a very long time.
Oh, I remember the first time I met him. I was with the original band down in the studio or Harry's old place, and it was coming to an end with the band, and then I was walking past the actual little recording room. And he went, "Yo, mate." I went, "You all right?" And he went, "You play bass, don't you?" I went, "Aye." He goes, "Want to be in a band?" I went, "Aye, go on." and that was it.
Like, hang on, we're going to go with the SWAT now.
Why does that give me the?
Before that, I think I spoke to him once.
Why does it give me the vibe of How I Met Your Father or something? it's How I Met Your Brother.
Aye, How I Met Your Mother.
You just sort of like, well, I was in a studio one time, and he just said, "Hey, mate."
We did, I was there, and he literally just had his paper.
It's more like, do you play bass? Aye, we'll join a band. Aye, going back, must be 5 years. He's one of the newest friends that I've got.
There was 4 songs in a piece of paper. He says, "Learn them." I says, "Oh, no bother." And then we turn up practice. And the drummer didn't turn up.
Is that when we're looking for a drummer?
Yeah. That was funny.
The drummers for this are like Spinal Tap. They explode and they disappear. Not by my hand, like. They might find them in a field somewhere, maybe. Musicians are generally flaky, at least that's my experience of the majority of them, not all of them. But when you get a serious bunch who are not flaky, you want to try and hang on to them, even though you want to punch the faces in 90% of the time.
That's a nice guy.
Sometimes they're the best people to be around, though.
Right, I keep making 10. Right, forgetting shit. Sorry.
But the whole issue though with being forget, like I myself there's been some times where I've forgotten something, and then all of a sudden my mate's like, "Jordan, you've lost this." I'm like, "I'm sorry," because sometimes when
our drummer did it the last game, man. He forgot his snare stand to drive all the way back, didn't he?
And then you'd have to face in the pub again.
Oh my goodness! So, is this the first time you guys are going to be performing in Barrow?
I think it'll be the second time. I think we played Barrow, but it was the north end of Barrow, wasn't it?
I don't know if the class is Barrow or not. I'm not sure. I'm going to go with a yes. It's the first time that I've knowingly played in Barrow.
So whereabouts did you play that you thought was Barrow?
It was west of Carlisle on the coast.
Yeah, that's not Barrow. Don't do that. Don't do that. You'll be in trouble with some of the locals. Carlisle are a little bit above us, so we're big rivals, especially with our football clubs, are Barrow and Carlisle, and we're both in League Two. So don't do that. There's a big rivalry.
So
big local rivalry.
Cumberland.
There we are. What was that?
It was Workington.
Workington. Oh yeah.
It's as close as we're getting, and then Glasgow, so like somewhere in between, really, like.
Yeah. So are you guys excited to perform in Barrow for the first time?
Always excited.
Always don't know what I do without playing gigs, really. I mean, ever since we started going out regularly, when we get a weekend, we've got no gigs, we just sat there twiddling your thumbs, It's
that right? So the diary's full of you sat twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah, just sat there. No, I've usually got plans to go away with the family and that stuff. So
I don't think the lads in this band had gigs so much.
No.
Until we set this away. I mean, I've gigged on and off for like 20 years, but not as much. I think last year we done like 104, between 90 and 104 shows popped up on our Facebook feed for last year. I've never been that busy ever in 20 years of playing.
Oh, blimey! It's a lot has gone on. A lot is going on. We have got the event on June 30th, which is Green Days with Well Rid opening up. The tickets for that are still on sale. They are just £10. I'll leave that website as well, also as a link in the description for you all as well. Get your tickets now, because then that is getting you all ready and warmed up for this event on July 29th, which the tickets are also available. He's like, get behind it. Don't. Is that if you don't, I'm coming over there and you'll be on the right way to smack bottom. So
we scared of buy the tickets.
It's like, do it. Just pretend that you're in an Nike advert and do it. Oh my goodness! Because so the event in June, Green Days, that's going to be an amazing event. We've got, like I said, just a straight up band in Wellred who write the original music, etc. And they're going to be performing some of their original songs at the event on June 30th. And then of course we have Green Days as the headline act. And then on July 29th we've got you guys, and then we've got 6 other bands in one night. And I will say it again, only just £2, just £2 for 7 bands in one night, and 4 of these bands who are which these 2 guys belong in one of them. They are some of the best tribute act bands in the nation. So get your finger at your backside, get your wallets or your purses out.
Well, don't even say we get told.
Put in your bank details. Get over to that description, click the link, and get your tickets. It's like, I will be the ticket man on the train, on the subway. I'll be telling you, it's like, tickets, please. It's like, if you don't have your tickets, you're not getting in. Oh my goodness. I mean, guys, thank you ever so much for taking the time out your day. So is there anything else, of course, that you would like to get out there before we end the interview for today? Is there anything that you guys have been working on at all? Anything else that you would like to maybe talk about before we finish?
Well, if anybody's listening further away down south, we're here.
Plenty of free availability for next year if anyone wants to book in. Other than that, keep it real, keep rolling.
We'll travel, festivals, we'll do them all.
Keep pushing.
So, yeah, that is going to be everything for today. Thank you guys ever so much for taking the time out your days to come and say hello and having a nice little chinwag. It's been nice to have a nice little chinwag, a little bit of banter, hit back and forth. I look forward to July 29th to seeing you guys. Looking forward to seeing some more of your work, etc. And also I'll be looking forward to hearing more of you and your guys' original music that hopefully we'll be hearing more of very, very soon. I would love to hear some of your original music because, of course, I love originality. I love when people pour their hearts and soul into music, and it is their own music, and you could tell that it's their own music, but they've got influences of some of the artists, etc., that they have fallen in love with over the years, and they've put little sprinkles of their inspiration in their music.
You can't copyright stuff in that way. It has to be original, but not too copyrighted.
Yes, of course. So basically, to those of you that don't know, what I mean by that is you've got your influences and your inspirations in music, but you can take little hints of how they have their stuff, but you still got to be original. You've got to be real. You've got to be true. You've got to be you. So what you do is you figure out how to include some of your famous or your favourite artists, etc., but kind of make it your own thing. And then once you're able to blend it all together, you'll end up becoming pretty damn dandy, if I do say so myself. You won't do too badly if you show everybody that, yeah, these are my inspirations, but this is me. This is what I'm capable of, while still showing homage to those that I look up to. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in person and watching more of your stuff and, of course, your original music. That is going to be everything for today. I've got everything that I have for you guys. So thank you guys ever so much. I will see you guys on July 29th.
Yes, you will.
I may come down and see you beforehand. Hey, no.
Yeah, you never know, you might. I don't think you will.
Probably not.
Right. Cheers for having me. Thanks for having us on.
Oh, blimey. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, so yeah, that is going to be everything, guys. Thank you ever so much. I will see you July 29th.
Right, no bother, mate. See you later.
See you in a bizzle. Take care now. Oh. Alright guys, that is going to be everything for today. Thank you all ever so much for watching. That's been your boy Just Small speaking to one of the headline performers, one of the best tribute acts in the UK in Red Hot Chili Peppers tribute. Thank you all ever so much for watching. Comment, like and subscribe if you are new here. Comment whatever you want to add into the comments. I thrive myself and reply to every single comment. And that's it for today. I'll see you all next time. God bless you, Karen. Peace.